Hi, welcome back to Musicians Edition Practice with me. We are still working in the Rubank Elementary Method for flute or piccolo, and today we're working on lesson 14. All right, so we have a couple review type things. So number 1, what key signature is that? That is the key of G. Great. Number 2, what key signature is that one? That is the key of F. Number 3, what key signature is that? B flat. And number 4, what key signature is that one? That is the key of D. Great. If you're a little confused on your key signatures, we did have a video specifically about it. I recommend checking it out if you were confused or couldn't remember what they were. All right, number 5, a tie. Now, a tie is you don't tongue, and the tie stays on the same note. So in the example they have a half note worth 2 and a quarter note, which is worth 1. So you're going to just play that note for 3 beats. Don't tongue in between. It's just ta. Okay? And then number 6 is a slur. It's just like a tie, so we're not going to tongue between the notes, but the slur changes notes. So the difference is tie, same note, slur, different note. All right? Number 7 is high F, a new note we're going to learn. We'll learn it when we get there. All right? Number 8, what kind of rest is that? It's an 8th rest. How long do you hold it for? Just half of a beat. Great. What about number 9? Which kind of rest is that? That's a quarter rest. How many beats does the quarter rest get? 1. Excellent. All right, let's take a look at our exercise number 1, slow slurs. So first, what key signature are we in? G. So we have F sharp that we're going to be playing. All right, and it looks like we have a bunch of combinations between ties and slurs. Now, when you look carefully, you'll see that so look at measure 2, for example. You have the slur going G to B, but then you're going to tongue that B down to G, okay? And we have that because it doesn't have the slur lines above it, so that's when you tongue. We also always tongue going into the first note. So the first beat is ta, and then it'll slur or tie depending on where it's at. All right, let's give it a shot though, all right? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, how did you do? All right, so did it make sense where you're supposed to slur and tongue? Just really pay attention to where the lines are. And when we're slurring, that's a really good indicator on how fast your fingers are moving. So on mine, you could hear a couple that were a little slower, trill. where, you have one finger a little slower than the other, the slurs really make it easier to hear where you're at on that. All right, let's play it again though. Let's take it a little bit slower. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, how'd you do? Still feeling okay about it? Okay, so the book said slur both groups of 2 and groups of 4 notes. So what we've been doing is doing the 4 notes. That's why you see the 2 ties in slurs. I think they're all slurs actually. Anyway, that's why you see the 2 lines, is because they just wanted part of it done in 2, part of it done in 4. We were doing 4. So this time, let's do it in the groups of 2. So we're going to act like the big slur line is not there. So it's going to be ta, 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 ta. Okay? Let's try it that way. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, how'd you do that time? Did you feel that grouping it in 2 was easier than 4? I did, but the slurs will always be a little different from each piece, so just gotta be things we gotta pay attention to. All right, let's take a look at our exercise number 2 now though. Fast slurs. All right, so it's going to be pretty similar, except now it's broken down into 8 notes, which means our fingers have to move a little bit faster. All right, so this pretty well looks almost the same. It's just going to be faster. All right, ready? And this time it's going to go back to the 4s. 4, 2, ta. 4, 2, 1. Okay, do you see how the slurs go in the whole first set of the 8th notes? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all slurred as 1. Then the next set of 8th notes, which is 2, is slurred, and then our quarter note, you tongue going into it. Then tongue going into our next 8s. All right, so let's just try this. And we'll start slow and we'll work a little faster. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you do? Now, slurring is something that is always on my practice list. Why? Because I have a tendency to always want to just tongue, slur, tie, whenever I feel like it. And that's not right. And when you're playing by yourself, it's kind of like, yeah, it's not a big deal. But when you're playing with a group, it becomes a big deal. You can hear it, so they're just things that I personally have to work on. You might be getting it right away, and if you are, that is great. All right, let's play it again. Let's take it a hair faster. All right, and are you remembering it's F sharp? Something I should have mentioned the first go around, but remember it's F sharp as well. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, how did you do? You can also start feeling a little more work in the embouchure too, especially for me personally, where I went G to B, G to B. You could hear I was a little bit lazy doing it, and so I had to really tighten it up because I don't have the fingerings or the tonguing to break up my air to adjust everything. I have to do it right there on the fly as we're going. So we have to be careful of our embouchure and our airflow all together because there's nothing in between those slurs to break that up. All right, let's play it one more time. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, how did you do with that speed? If you're still struggling with just fingerings and speed, we do have an episode for just fast fingers to work on the speed of your fingers. So if you're interested, recommend checking that out. All right, for now, let's move on to our exercise number 3, folk melody. All right, so now we have a key signature change. What is our key signature now? Key of F. That means we've now switched over to flats and we have B flat. Great. We're still in common time, 4-4. Okay, so now it says slur both ways. So it's kind of like how our first exercise was, where it's going to want us do it 2s and 4s, just depending on what we're doing. All right, let's see if we're learning our new note yet. Goes to D, C, D. Now it looks like D is our highest note, so we're not going to learn high F quite yet. Okay, so for this round, let's slur it with the big slur line. So it'll be the set of 4s, okay? Ready? And we'll take it off slow first. 1, 2, 3, 4. a little squeak at the end. Don't know if you noticed. I did. Yeah, and you can just really feel how important it is for all your fingers to move at the same time. It's kind of hard. And like I said, making sure our air fits with what we need to do and our embouchure adjusting on the fly. How are you doing? All right, let's do it this way. One more time. Let's take it a little bit faster. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How'd you feel about that? Great. Okay, this time let's break it up into twos. So we're gonna do the smaller slur line. So it should be ta, 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 ta. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, how was that? Takes a little more thinking power switching back and forth, doesn't it? All right, let's do it one more time. That way we get 2 and 2. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. How is that? Better? The slurring and the tying kind of takes a lot of work. Or at least for me it does. I have to really think about it and practice it. Take it slow. Sometimes even just tying it helps me out a lot too. Ta 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 ta. You know? So that helps me tremendously, and sometimes I have to stop and do that. So if you are struggling, maybe ta it first as well. All right, from now, let's move on to the F major scale, exercise number 4. And this is where we're gonna learn high F. Now for high F, we're gonna need a lot of air control coming from the diaphragm. All right, and the fingerings for high F is thumb, index, ring, and then index and pinky. Why don't you go ahead and take a moment to try to play your high F? Great. If you struggled with it, remember our little trick of working our way there. We do that just so we can get the feel of the embouchure and the air speed and how much you need to push out. I have found that really helpful, working my way up. So if you struggled, try working your way up just to get the feel of it. And if you got it, let's go ahead and learn the F major scale. So looking at our key signature, what is it? It's F. Great. Now remember, in our key signature, we only have one flat, B flat. So everything else will be natural. All right, and they're starting us off in the mid-registered F. And we're gonna work our way up to that new high F. Okay? I believe you can do this. Confidence goes a long way. All right, and everything is in half notes. We're still in common time, 4/4. All right, let's give it a shot, shall we? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. did you do? Was that high F easier to hit since we were already working our way up? Great. Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. I hope you're still doing well. How'd you feel that time? We should feel better about it each time we go through. All right, for good luck though, let's do it one more time. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, how was that? All right, excellent. We've made it through our whole entire lesson 14. Those ties and slurs, something new, but we're gonna nail it, we're gonna get it. All right, keep on practicing, and thanks for joining me, and until next time.